Oops. Oops. Hey guys, just figuring out how to get Lauren on here. What the heck, man? Just a second. I saw her. Um, oh, at the stream. Duh. Hey, Lauren.
Hello.
Sorry about that. I couldn't figure out how to add you for a second. All right, let's see here. Thank you for joining.
No problem. I've just been hanging out for 20 minutes backstage, so.
Backstage. Sorry, yeah, I came on a couple minutes late. So, welcome everybody. Happy Halloween. Let me shut this background music off here. Hold on here. Oh, jeez, I'm crow. How do I get there? There we go. Happy Halloween. Thank you for joining. Let me get to comment, see who's there. If you guys don't mind, please share out. We appreciate it. Lauren, do you need to share out at all? Or have you? I can't on my phone.
Doing that now.
What was that?
I'm doing that now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we have Leona. Good morning, Leona. Good afternoon, Gabrielle, Kimmy. Yeah, so Kimmy, that was so funny. I thought I had plenty of time during the live yesterday to get back before I took the cake out. I get in the house and I could have sworn I was smelling it anyways outdoors. And he actually cut a piece of that cake. You told me, oh, don't forget your cake. And the timer went off while I was giving the live. And so he took it out thinking he was helping. But you know when something's not cooked and it was just all oozing and running out. And he goes, well, I thought it tasted kind of heavy, but I thought it was supposed to have like a macaroni and cheese texture or something. So I did put it back in the oven and finished cooking it. Hey, Robin. Hey, Leona Thacker. Thank you for joining, guys. So today we're going to be doing special reads for Halloween. And, you know, normally in Halloween we wear costumes and masks and it's fun to role play and pretend we're somebody else. Well, this live and these readings are going to bring forth masks that we literally do wear and maybe are not conscious of it. Masks that we wear energetically or even physically. And when I say physically, not necessarily, hold on here, not necessarily putting a mask, this is my son's mask for tonight, a mask like this on, but the mask of a role we play like mother or a worker or a boss or any of those roles we play can sometimes be masks. And a mask doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just, is the mask supporting us or is it hindering us? So roles that we play in life and parts are a vehicle. They're like a mask. They're like a costume. It's not representing necessarily the totality of who we are in spirit, but it's an aspect of ourselves, and it is supporting us by giving us a particular energy on our journey. Maybe we came to learn nurturing or compassion, and we might be wearing a mask or a part or a role where we're a nurse or a caregiver or a mother or a father or what have you. And then sometimes there's those masks that we put on, like a happy mask where we're trying to cover up something within ourselves that we are hiding from ourselves or the outside world, because we might feel shame or we might feel judged or we don't think it's appropriate, and we might be putting on that happy face or that content face or that confident face when we're really not confident. So it's just about bringing forth the energies today that are aiding us, supporting us, or hindering us, masks that are now time to remove. In essence, everything is always supporting our journey. We're always learning, but there comes a time in a cycle that it's time to wrap that cycle up, to end it and to move on, but to gain those energies and move forward with what we did gain by wearing that mask. Some people even put a mask of anger or scared or tough because deep down they're very sensitive and they're afraid to show their vulnerability. And then that can prevent them from maybe connecting to their outside world or a person or a place or a thing or what they want to create because they're actually preventing the very thing they need to expose within themselves to fulfill their soul's journey, to fulfill their heart's desires, to have what they want. So, yeah. So we'll just see what comes through. Do you have anything you want to share on that, Lauren? I'm sorry. I kind of just went full board in talking about what we're going to be pulling our reads on. Oh, let me put the PayPal up.
I mean, as far as that everything else goes regarding masks, I mean, the thing to watch out for is, are you wearing a mask from yourself? Sometimes you think you know who you are, and you're like, oh, I'm this kind of person, and I do this. But then later on, you realize, hey, I'm not really living up to what I say that I am, or how would I change how I do things, and how would I change this aspect of myself? Because you know what? It may have worked in the past, but it's not working anymore. I'm going through all that now. I've been ultra responsible for the past 3 years, and that has diminished returns. And you think, oh, well, how is being more irresponsible healthy? But it's like, okay, not that I'm saying that I want to be more irresponsible, but it's just time to. It's one of these things where me being responsible, thinking that I'm going to get hit by being responsible, that belief's it's going away because it's actually hurting me more than it's helping me at this point. So I've been wearing the mask of, I guess, the uptight person in a suit, so to speak, making sure everything is done right, and it's not really helping at all. So I got to take that off.
Very good. And you made a point that some masks that weren't necessarily representing our authentic self were necessary and to teach us a lesson or to give us some insight about who we are or who we are not and what works and what doesn't work. Because literally, I mean, when you look right down to it, as a human being in a physical body, we're literally wearing layers and layers of different energies, masks, role playing different parts. Because if we're truly just light beings, um, our physical body is sort of a costume within itself, in and within itself. But of course, that costume and those masks and those roles we play, we want them to be representative of the energy of our authentic self in the now. And every role and every mask and every part gives us some self-realization and gives us some information and insight and helps us to discover who we really are and what do we want to play out right now and what do we want to express. So it's about coming into alignment to the best mask or the best part of ourselves that we are expressing or showing in our physical world. The energy should match the physical world. So we're just going to be bringing some insight to that. John Thaddeus Fiore, thank you. Thank you for donating.
And it's just,
And
one of
yes,
the big things for me is it's time to use more of what I have in order to gain more, because I'm trying to gain more, but basically I'm being denied because they're saying you're not using what you have enough. We don't see that you're using enough to warrant whatever thing that you want. So you have to use more of what you have in order to get more,
oh my God.
which is pretty weird, but that's how it is.
No, absolutely. I had all of this insight after a mini live talking about this live. And I said, I was sharing the light codes this morning, and it literally overlit me so bad. I had so many sparks of ideas coming through, and I just wanted to stop every few feet on my run. Because when you use what you have, when you use your energy, you keep that flowing in momentum. And what happens is we get stuck when we decide not to express or to share or to utilize that energy that was just given to us, and we can stunt and stop the flow from keep moving and expanding if we don't take physical action on that expression. So it's funny you mentioned that because that's something I wanted to keep stopping and talking and elaborating about. But then I'm like, I will never get back in time for my live if I start doing a bunch of mini lives. But it's like we do. We need to use what is given to us, and that's how we move on to the next cycle even. So we're giving in one cycle all of this information, and there's many mini cycles within bigger cycles. And no different than like going to school and grades and completing a cycle, and we're building upon every cycle, and we're using the energy and elaborating and gaining into the next cycle. But if we don't use the energy, if we don't bring it to our awareness or utilize it in the physical by grounding it and anchoring it, all of that learnedness or information and energy that we've just gained, if we don't anchor it into the physical, we remain kind of stuck. And that's exactly, we need to move that energy to move on to the next cycle. But we take all that we've learned into the next cycle. So it's funny that you mentioned that. And this kind of is a mini little segue to John and I's live on November 11th at 7 about unstucking, unsticking ourselves and to move those blockages and to keep that flow going so we can move on to the next cycle of our life, so we can flow more efficiently, not just out one little tiny hole, but open up the whole portal and flow and become unstuck. And masks we wear, the masks and the things that are going to show up are going to show us the areas in our life that we might not be totally conscious of that need to move and become unstuck, or remove the mask, or even put on energy and adopt energy to give us that power too, because we really are everything, everywhere, all at once. That we contain parts of it. And sometimes we want to put on a mask of, say, like I used an example this morning of a lion, to merge with that energy of courage and strength and fortitude and quickness, or a monkey, or multitasking, or being social. Or so we do. It is good to put on a costume and role play, because then we're merging with that energy. So that, it's just whether or not we've outlived the cycle of that energy, and it's time to take that mask off, or that role or costume off. All right. So I'll be quiet. All right. So we have John,
It just I
and
figured, okay, I'm gonna get penalized for not using it, then I might as well use it. So
yeah,
it's
and it's
time for me to use it and grow and do whatever it is that I've been doing, because I've got some stuff I want to on the table, but I've done many different things. I've got the cut rate for my book. I've done, I've entered into a lot in depthly into a few different things. Now it's going to take something all the way, and if I have to invest more than I want to in it, then I guess that's how it's going to have to be, because being responsible isn't getting me anywhere anymore. Anyway, let's get on to John.
okay. So Teresa, we're just gonna do John and then you, if that's okay with you. Okay, Teresa. Um, so John Thaddeus, and then we'll do Teresa. All right. Yeah, it's just, yes, it's amazing. All right. Just ring the bells. Before we begin, guys, if you don't mind, everyone present now or later, just kind of breathing in and tuning in to the sun within, your higher self within, the spiritual sun within you, just to help open us up, drop us from the mind, enter that heart space so we can connect and be and allow and illuminate the highest frequency that we are, so that we may give and receive the highest frequency information and guidance available to us now, just to kind of ground us. And hold it. Feel your heart expanding, illuminating, opening up, your energy bursting through the light bulb, permeating every bit of your being and reflecting in your outer world on the out breath. All right.
I'm feeling a log in my stomach. I'm
Mm.
thinking, I'm getting imagery of me outside, but I got like this huge log in my stomach, and I'm sitting right next to the guy. What, the guy from the Neverending Story? That mountain guy? I forget what his name is. Like the rock demon or rock biter, I think his name was just called. I don't think he had a name; it was just rock biter. But that's what I'm seeing. and I'm just feeling a lot of swirling. I'm also feeling very hyper. Something's very rushed because there's that nothing, that panther thing, which they call the nothing, which is wiping out the land of Eternia or Fantasia or wherever the never-ending story takes place, whatever fantasy world that's called. Because people's imaginations are kind of going away, and if they don't imagine anything anymore. They don't dream anymore. So therefore, that's what's really killing the world. So maybe in some form, you're feeling like that you're not living up to the imagination. That yes, you've got this log in your stomach, maybe to keep you grounded so that you don't imagine anymore. For whatever reason, you got carried away with imagination at some point, and so now you've got this log in your stomach that's tight, and you're like, oh, to keep myself grounded, I'm gonna have this log in me at all times. And yeah, it may be keeping you grounded, but if you got a log going through your stomach, it's kind of hard to move because every time you turn, you're gonna bang into something. So it's time to remove the log out, pull that out so you can actually act on with your personal power and use your imagination again. And okay, if you get carried away, just know that you have vines on your feet and you can, swing them down to the ground at any time, anywhere. You don't have to have a huge log inside your stomach saying, "Oh, I'm grounded now." Don't be afraid to go
Whoops,
into
whoops,
the magical
sorry.
world, but also keep your feet on the ground at the same time. If somebody comes up to you and offers you $90,000 and they've never spoken to you and you've never seen them before, be wary of that.
Oh, sorry.
But at the same time, don't don't stop shooting for the pie in the sky just because it seems out of reach or it's not very practical. Okay, yes, you could shoot and you could screw up, but you learned something, and yes, that could put you in a bind. But at the same time, if you do the same thing over and over, then you get the same result. It's what's the old definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But this, when you take a risk, then you take a risk. I mean, I need to take these same words myself. What do you want the rest of your life to be? What do you have? 1/3 of your life left? Even more than that. So what do you want your last third or more to be? Being solid is great, but you don't need to sacrifice your personal power in order to have a foundation. You change your foundation based on how much you're using your personal power. So don't be afraid to stand up to the nothing. Fight the nothing, that panther thing, with your own thoughts. Use your imagination. Create something new. That way it kills the nothing. I'm also feeling fire in my hands, fire in my hands, fire everywhere. Well, what is fire? It can be seen as something as the definition of destruction, but what it does, when it leaves in destruction, it leaves open for creation. So fire is a very creative tool. You need to be creative to start a fire, rubbing two sticks together, and then you can warm up food. What do hands do? They help you grab things and create things. The hands are what separates us from other animals because we can defy our natural instincts because we have opposable thumbs which help us create tools. So we don't need to be genetically predispositioned or whatever to do certain things because we can create tools to get around not having whatever. We can't fly like birds can, but we can build airplanes, so on and so forth. So now the time for creation. Build, build, build. Use that fire. Now that the tree's out of your stomach, use the fire. And just like a blacksmith does, he hammers down on all the blade, but then he uses what the not stove, what the oven or the whatever the thing, what the huge thing called, the kiln, to put the blades into with the fire, and then when it comes out, it's finalized and it's sharp and it's good. You get
Mm,
the fires which hold everything together so that everything's stuck together the way it should be. That way it won't fall apart when you swing it and just breaks off. Wall the fire at your foundation. So use your hand and just put it in there. My hands are still on fire, so keep on building it up, and you'll have what you want eventually. And if things
mm.
need to be changed, then break it all down in smaller parts. If before you build the whole thing outright, take the smaller thing, build that up, and if it doesn't turn out right, then break it down, move it into something else, stick it in the kiln, and then take it out. Rhea, you're up.
Oh, that was awesome. I kept getting a volcano image as you were talking about the fire in the belly and releasing it, and maybe being just a little bit timid of releasing that fire, which is passion, which is just a little bit timid in releasing that. And they're saying to for you, John, and they're literally showing me, put on the mask of the volcano, put on the mask of the volcano, allow that fire. It's brewing, it's there. Allow it to come out. Allow it to distribute, and as it comes out of like that peak, let it distribute in all the other areas of your life. It's just showing me oozing, not uncontrollably, not in a negative way, but allowing that fire to come out. So they're just showing me that you might have been hiding that mask a teensy bit. I don't know, however that resonates. I pulled a few cards. I like to ring the bell, it just helps me to tune into the energy. So I'm just going to do that first, John. Also, when we first started tuning into your energy and Lauren started speaking, I was getting all like dizzy and like overwhelmed in my head, lightheaded. And Lauren was speaking about the imagination and allowing your imagination to um, to go and to allow that. And I was feeling that. I was feeling that you actually are allowing that imagination. You're opening up that imagination. I was really lightheaded and almost like swirling with all of this information and energy and um, just a lot of opening in that crown chakra, a lot of downloads, a lot of I'm feeling you're getting a lot of insight that's going to help you to release that fire that might have been semi stuck. I don't feel it was totally stuck, but semi stuck. Like she was saying, it felt like a log, but it's a log that needs to come out and enter that stream. All right, so I pulled you a few cards. I did the shadows and light, and this one to me, my intent was, okay, what mask is John maybe wearing? That needs to come off. That cycle is done. You've gained everything you need from it, and you got, what the heck? How do you pronounce that? Nautilus Princess, powerful personal growth. Um, Yeah. So what I'm picking up here is 41, which is change. Transformation also represented by the fire and in the kiln. And Lauren was talking about reshaping the objects. You have gone through a process of reshaping yourself. And even the shell here, going within, the shell, you go within, almost looks like a snail shell. You've gone within, you've done transformation, and it's almost like now it's time to take off the hermit mask or um, like the one that goes in and studies the studious face. It's time to come out. Basically, it's time to come out. Take off the mask, whichever, however you want to define it. That's been kind of keeping you in. I know you're out. I know you've been out and you talk and you teach, but there might be a certain aspect within yourself, John, that it's ready to come out, and that's also represented by Lauren's beautiful vision on the volcano and in the gut and the log and the fire. That totally goes with the volcano. That's time to release that. You've gone within. There's this knowledge and information that's ready to be released. So it's time to come out even more. Because you can say, oh, geez, Ria, I've been out. And you have been. But there's still something. It might be something to do with something you're denying within yourself. Another subject matter might not even be your teachings. It could be something. But there's something that you've gone through a great, it's taken you through a lot of personal growth, and now what it is, it's time for you to apply that growth. Release the volcano. Come out of the shell in whatever way, shape, or form that that connects to you. Oh, yeah, and I pulled purpose cards because I did want some sort of idea what the two masks are referring to, and I received, so your life purpose is telling you the energy that is that you're being called to step into and be in the moment. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. And I know you ask for divine guidance. And talk to your angels. Maybe it's not even so much talking, but merging, merging with them, merging with the angels. Spirit is saying merging. Um, they're not a separate energy, entity, or information separate from you. You are the divine guidance, John. This man is wearing a cloak and he's wearing wings. That is the your intuition, your psychic abilities, which is funny. This is the mask that you are wearing. Oh my God, this is the volcanic eruption that needs to come forward. It is so powerful. Claiming and taking ownership, not separating it from you, not giving your power over, but you are it. You are it. Because the other card that you receive from the angels and ancestors, the mask that you need to put on that is supporting you now is actually psychic abilities. So these two go perfectly together. Knowing that you hold all of that information and fire within you to be released. The spiritual energy, the answers, the guidance, the angels, Metatron, it is you. Claiming that. Not being shy about it, but you are it. It's not a separate energy or being from you. Because it says now, and then that shows you on looking at this crystal ball. Not that you're her, but the energy, being that psychic. Her eyes are covered. She's not looking at the outside. She's not looking for anything separate from her. She's actually feeling into the crystal ball. Her face is covered. She is the crystal ball. You are the crystal ball, John. And it's time to take that fire and all of those sparks you see within you and let them out and trust in that. So the two purpose ones is instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. You don't have to worry about hearing correctly because you are it. You are the answer. And then the other life purpose one in the energy supporting or bringing the two masks together. The two masks that I felt you were wearing is a little bit humble, staying within, studying, doing all the inner work, which you have. But now it's time to be like that volcano. Take that out. And the mask that is supporting you is this one. This is what you're to put on. That psychic intuitive, the seer, seeing beyond the current situations, seeing that higher perception for yourself and others, allowing yourself to be that go-to person when people need a little more clarity, and trusting in that. Because you are actually reflecting a piece of them as well. And then this one is very earthly. It's almost like taking all that spiritual energy communication and knowing that you embody it in the physical. Because this angel is kneeling down, arms wide open, um, kind of a Native American looking, but all of that spiritual knowledge, the visualizing that Lauren was talking about, and the imagination, and bringing that all into the physical, actually allowing all of that lava to pour out of you. And then what does it do as it pours out of you? That deep well that, oh my God, this is such a powerful reading. Deep within you, within your gut, in your solar plexus, in your sacral, in your root, and allowing all of that passion to come out. And what's it do once it comes out over the volcano? It what's it called? Becomes rock. It manifests, it forms, it densifies. So it becomes part of the physical experience. So allowing the passion to come out and to manifest in the physical. And you are the physical manifestation of all of the spiritual entities and contacts and angels and information in you. Activated. All right. Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Also, the other supporting mask, because two came out for you, which were the seer and Earth Guardian. Stay rooted and grounded. And I feel that you are very grounded and you're stable and you're anchored in your well-being, your authentic self, your heart. So to me, staying grounded for you is actually grounding that imagination, the thoughts, the ideas you've been getting, and allowing them to manifest in the physical, taking actually ownership of it by acting and taking motion, um, allowing your physical reality to anchor and bring in all of that imagination, spiritual insight, thoughts, passion, and allowing it to be seen in your physical reality and experienced for yourself. And then in that, also allowing others to come to you and helping them, being that space holder and being that model for others to come to, as you are a reflection for them of your transformation. That was cool. I like that. Any questions on that, John? And you're a Leo. You're a fire sign. On top of it all, ruled by the sun. Son of a bee. So just like you can think of it like the volcano, as it comes out, the lava, then it melts or whatever, as it cools down, it turns into a rock. Or you can also think of yourself as the sun also, or the sun shooting out all of the rays too as well. I thought of it as the lava coming over the peak and spreading, but you can also think of it as the sun shooting through the rays also in all of your areas. Trusting in that, trusting in your merged spiritual self with that physical. To me, it's having a greater amount of even trust and acting on it, allowing it to come out of you. Shoom. What can I do? What else? Does he what come yo? What else can I do? Pertaining to what? What else can I do? Close a what? Does what? Ah, it has to be
What else can I do? See what comes up.
Oh, thank you for that interpretation.
Well, you got no. You gotta just.
What else can I
You
do
got
when it comes?
spaces. Just put the space in there.
You are the master of moving energy, John, with your radical self acceptance, compassion, EFT. So obviously, you have that answer, you have that tool, and exactly what you are going to be sharing with us on November 11th, and like you always do. So I pulled one extra little animal, and I think of these little cards that I cut out as a mask that is supporting you and for you to reflect upon or merge with. And now I'm getting a ringing in my ears. Buffalo, abundance, healing, and good fortune. So what does a buffalo mean to you? A buffalo is a grounded, to me, very grounded. It's like part of the cows and part of that kind of the cow, the big animals, livestock. They usually connect in herds. They go together. They make a lot of noise and thunder. And there's another volcano. Now I'm getting all the tingles. So the buffalo, you hear them from miles and it makes the earth shake. Well, I'm pretty sure a volcano does that as well. The earth is probably trembling before it explodes. If it's a lava shooting out. So there's a lot of correlation, I believe, with the buffalo energy and that volcanic energy that is supporting you and active in you. The volcano is active. You know, when they say a volcano is active, all of that energy is active within you. And I believe that you are moving all of that energy from all of your prior cycles as you step into the next cycle, just knowing what else can I do? Just knowing that that is part of your cycle, and it can come out even a little erratic and strong and passionate and intense, and that's good. It can make some noise. It can break some ground. It can shake up things a little bit as well as the as you connect with your people and soul tribe. You're going to make a little noise. You're going to, that's okay. It's shaking things up. You're hearing things from further away. Even hearing things from further away and hear or heard coming, to me that even represents hearing better, hearing intuitively, being able to see from a higher perception as well. So healing, obviously healing too, continuing on that healing journey, and all that you share with the EFT, with your mastery in EFT work, because you've got healing, abundance, and good fortune. And as you even step into that greater, or however this message resonates for you, it's going to bring greater fortune and abundance. And it's getting louder. It's making more noise. You're going to be heard. And this is, oh my God, heard as in a big herd. So you might be joining herds, but you're also going to be heard with the ears, louder, more clear as you release that passion in you. Masculine energy, a lot of activity being called for you in motion. So just knowing that and knowing the energy that's working for you right now should give you the reassurance. You already know, you already have the answers. Sometimes we like that outer reflection of reassurance and affirmation. Absolutely, you've asked for this. So start some shit up. And to me, the buffalo, what's really standing out to me, the buffalo has this wicked thick fur. So to me, it's comforting also. As you're stirring shit up, it it might rattle a little bit, a few heads. It might be a little loud or a little bit much for some, but at the same time, it's going to bring people comfort. Because to me, a buffalo looks warm and snuggly, and when they killed buffalo, they used their hide and they used their fur for comfort. So after the noise, after the aftershock, after the cooling down of the lava, it's actually going to bring comfort and good fortune and abundance for those around you as well, and those that you touch, those that your lava touches. It is going to maybe take them by surprise a little bit, the information you bring forth, but it's going to, in the end, bring them comfort and warmth and security. Just like the buffalo nurtures, they used every little bit of the buffalo when they killed it. The Native Americans, they use the horns, they use the bones, they use the meat to eat, they use the hides, they use the fur. So this is telling me that you're able to utilize and teach others, because I know what you do, how to utilize every little bit of energy in a person's field and in your field. There's no waste. Nothing is wasted. Oh my God, that's the bigger part of that buffalo message. Nothing is wasted energetically, past, present, future. Everything is available to us in our physical now that we need, and it's not wasted. None of it. Anything you've gone through, or anything like how you help people to tap and release their blockages, those blockages that they're releasing, even that energy that was stuck is not wasted. But it needs to move. To get back to Lauren's original, the energy needs to move on to the next cycle, to actually use. The leaf has to fall from the tree, decompose to nurture the ground and nurture the next season's fruit and leaves and growth. So we got to drop the leaf. Drop the leaf that is done with, which is that cycle. It's fulfilled its time, but we got to move the energy to allow the new. Awesome. Wow. Great job. Lauren, go ahead and laugh. I got horns for sure. And even that, nothing said, no word, no phrase is lost. Like even the horns can represent a little bit of devilishness. That's beautiful. Take off the mask of being an angel and let that quote unquote archeo devil type enter and play and whatever, however, even if it burns a little bit, it's supporting you right now. All right, awesome. You guys let Lauren and I know if you have donated or have shared out. And we appreciate you guys being here because you guys are the ones creating these messages. You guys, through your presence and your energy in this here and now and all the nows you've ever lived, you're taking all of that energy through your focus and actually infusing this live with it, with all the information, spoken or not spoken, because energy knows no boundaries. Yes, that was a good read. At the beginning, John says, this will be a good read. Very, 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 very powerful. You are at a very, very big pivotal power point. I love it. Give me some of that energy. All right. Um, Next, Teresa Home. All right. And if you guys have specific questions, don't hesitate or comments. And thank you for sharing out if you shared out.
Leona said, "We can go in for free." And Leona was so pretty indeed.
Mm.
Okay, my eyes are burning. I'm seeing lasers coming out of my eye. It's kind of like, it's not even like a bit, like one laser. It's like Cyclops. It's just, I don't know, my eyes are really burning. And there's a bunch of red. And now that red's changing to violet purple. What this represents to me is that maybe you're going through growth in seeing in some way, whether it's through the imagination or the third eye, but instead of just seeing things at face value, you're starting to look deeper, and therefore in this growth, your eyes are hurting because of what you're going through, and that's why you've got all the different colors. What do red and purple represent? Purple represents royalty, represents what, the kings, queens, and even being rich.
Mm.
What does red represent? Passion, purpose, blood, sweat. So instead of just seeing things, oh, it's the table over there, oh, it's just a window, you're seeing things beyond that now, and you're seeing the richness of everything. You're seeing the sovereignty of everything. So therefore, your eyes sting. I'm saying that the sweat glands are tired out in the armpits. It's trying to keep you cool because of out of the perspiring, but it's tired out because you've been going through so much it can't even go through. It's like, yeah, we're tired right now. We just went through a big transformation and we can't sweat anymore. So she's gonna have to keep herself hydrated a little bit more because we can't do it. We sweat everything we could sweat out. And it's seeing you in a chair falling asleep while you listen to an old, I guess, granny tell you a story. So maybe it's time to rest, like read a book, watch a movie, listen to a story for while your body gets used to the changes that are occurring. because you just went through the transformation, your body's tuckered out, just replenish the liquid that your sweat glands have poured out, and just rest. Rhea, you're up.
Ah, beautiful. And the purple to me really represents also to me the conscious awareness of the unconditional love, your unity with spirit, the seventh chakra, the spiritual chakra. And I'm feeling that, yeah, that's wide open, wide open, and a lot of activating and downloads. And downloads isn't coming from something outside of you. I feel that, oh my God, so what? They're just showing me an image of my third eye, literally purple, with this beautiful gold cross in the middle. It was beautiful. It was almost like a brass tone cross, thin, and it took up the full purple circle. So representing that Christ consciousness unity. Wow, beautiful. All right, I'm going to ring a bell real quick. All right. Lauren, can you name the person you just read for?
Yes, that was Teresa Holmes.
Okay, just making sure because Leona keeps coming in the comments in front of me, and it almost made me second guess because I had Teresa in my mind as I'm reading. But Leona, there could be a piggyback message for you as well because you kept coming in the coming into my awareness and my energy as I'm reading for Teresa. So just keep that in mind. All right. So Teresa, the mask I believe that you're ending your cycle with and that is coming off, that is no longer serving you, just to bring you maybe even greater understanding, or you might already be aware of it, is the witch at the end of the world. Hold on here. Where the heck are my glasses? Just so I can see this better in here. It's not too bright. The witch at the end of the world, an important end and a new beginning. And this makes complete sense because as I feel that like everything up to now has brought you to this huge enlightenment, understanding, awareness. Everything that you've gone through in life has activated this remembering of the unity of Christ consciousness that you are and that all is before you. And it literally is like you're entering a new world, a new state of being that is this high frequency of unconditional love, of Christ consciousness, which is unconditional love, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, all of it. And even she's holding the hourglass, and you've found a balance in your life between the past and the future of what you want. Like you're right here in the middle, I'm feeling right in the middle. You're at a place of equilibrium and peace and comfort, and you've balanced a lot that has brought you to this new beginning, this new creation. You have utilized all the cycles, and you've you've received a lot of spiritual nourishment through the wicked ways of the past, like the things that were not even so pleasant, like the witch, the little witch. You've had a lot of upset in the past, and you might have had to wear a mask. Where sometimes we wear masks just to protect ourselves, like to keep us safe and secure. Like we might put on the nice, pleasant face, but in the background, our world could be falling apart. We might put the part of being kind of sweet and innocent and nice, but in the background there could be a lot of stuff that's happened or a lot of stuff that's happened in the past. And it is brought in this little witch, like you can see it in her eyes and the light. They're almost like tears of light. Whatever she has gone through, it's really brought her to a great light and balance. And witches, a lot of times we think of, when Lauren started reading for you, I immediately got the image of Wizard of Oz. I don't know if you ever connected to Wizard of the Oz or liked it, but there's the good witch and the bad witch. And sometimes you might have even, or other people, I don't know if this is true, but you might have had to play one part, the bad witch or the good witch, but the bad witch, or had the bad witch, someone wearing a bad witch costume. But anyways, my point is, any badness or evilness or things have brought you back home to who you really are, which is your Christ consciousness. Like Dorothy with the ruby slippers, even the red in the hourglass, the ruby slippers, and she wants to click them 3 times and go home. It's almost like you have had to traverse through a lot of wickedness to find your home and to reconnect and anchor into your Christ consciousness and the truth that you are. Now you are like showing the good witch, the light coming from your eyes. You've allowed it to work for you. There's but the upset. So you might have had, in the past, you might have had to put on a really strong front, and now you can remove that mask. That mask has served you in the past, where you put on that strength and peace. And sometimes, they say fake it until you make it. Sometimes those masks are helpful because they help us to get through some stuff. And now you can remove all of that. All right. The mask aiding you now is protection guardian. Drop your shield. So I'm feeling almost like in the past, this little witch had to protect herself. And now you can drop your shield. Your frequency is strong enough. And you've transcended a lot of fears and doubts and conditionings. And now you can drop your shield and you can just bask in who you are. So they want you to drop your shields, and you're a protector. It's like, wow. I mean, I literally feel that your energy is transformed into this protective guardian. Like you hold that space of Christ consciousness for all of eternity now. When we end a cycle and we literally transmute it, that means there's a light within us that we never have to experience again. We found the light in the darkness. And once we do that, that's a cycle unto itself. But that cycle in itself contains many, many other timelines. And it's like you have wrapped up many timelines within your experience now. And as you find the light in it, as you transmute it and find the light in that darkness, you literally change that. You don't ever have to go through that again. And you hold that space of light, not just for yourself, but for others. People feel safe around you. They're just showing me you holding an energy of peace and balance and love. I don't know. Do you do energy healing at all, Teresa? Because this gem here almost looks like emerald, which to me is the green, and it's like, or the green color that Raphael stands for. That's in the heart and for healing. It's like you have a healing touch. You have a healing touch, whether it just be through your words or physically touching people. You're able to heal. And Lauren was talking about royalty and the purple, and this person has a crown on their head. So the readings totally coincide. You've stepped into a place of royalty. Royalty doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It means you have mastered an energy, and you now are holding the healed energy of that space. So you have earned a crown, and they're peacock crowns. Peacocks are proud, they're flamboyant, they're not afraid to show off their feathers, being confident in who you are, and being proud to display your light and shine in your uniqueness, in what makes you different. You are safe. And also very psychic, trusting your tuition. And again, the two colors kind of going together. Your purpose right now, too. You get the same talk to your angels as John did, knowing that you are one with your angels. You are one with unconditional love. You are one with Christ. And bringing that to the physical experience. Again, ending the cycle. You're entering end of time. You're entering that new time, that new earth, that new place, shifting to that frequency where it is compassion, acceptance, love, unconditional love, non-judgment, caring and healing for yourself and for others. You're able to bleed that over. You're bringing that into your physical reality. You are one. You are one with your angels. You're one with Christ energy. The same here, that blue, that trusting your tuition, trusting your connection to spirit, that portal that's opened up that you are one with. The cross representing your spiritual energy merged with your earthly energy, your physical, and displaying that in a physical way now on earth, bringing the balance of the spirit and the earth, the physical needs, and having that manifest on earth. Not that far off from John's reading. And I did pull you a little animal. What little mask or fun animal would it be good to play or role play with? And for you, it is a dolphin. The dolphin is joy, harmony, connection with self. And this woman here displays the connection with self. She's wearing her crown. She's showing her healing hands. Her wings are displayed in full plumage. And the dolphin representing that high intelligence, communication, playfulness, entering and connected to that realm of healed emotions and um, galactic energy, holding that galactic high frequency on earth. So joy, harm, and now I'm hearing the buzzing in my ear, my right ear. For John, it was my left. For you, it's my right, representing they, how they speak in that high frequency. You speak and give off a high frequency of joy, harmony, and connection with self. So you can even play with that dolphin energy and pretend you're a dolphin. Just pretend you're a dolphin. Maybe you like the water. Go for a swim and pretend you're a dolphin. Even though I think you said no, you're not in Illinois. I think Leona's in Illinois. You're in Lakeland, Florida, right? Where you can swim.
The
And
Miami Dolphins.
yeah, yeah. Kelly Deck. Manifest what exactly? If you're talking about Teresa, whatever her heart desires, manifest the physical manifestation through relationships, ones of joy, peace, and harmony and connection. Your environment is going to feel conducive and resonant to your energy. So it just means manifesting whatever your heaven on earth looks like. That doesn't mean the same for everybody, but the same in the way that it brings joy, harmony, peace, and abundance and stability and equilibrium and joy and contentment. The base of that, which is love for everyone, but it looks differently for everyone. So Teresa might love being in Florida and that warmth. I might like being in the Northeast and experiencing the seasons. Having fulfilling relationships, careers, abundance, having what you need when you need it. So that's what we're manifesting. The new earth. All right. By what? By visualizing. Oh, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, but yeah, visualizing. Visualizing is a key. Everything in our physical world, every invention, every creation was visualized first. So yeah, visualizing, cloaking yourself with that energy. But our live is today about bringing insight on mass, energetic mass, or physical mass that are either supporting or hindering us, and they're all based in in energy as well. I gotta be by the oceans. Mermaid, mint taken energy. Same here. I gotta be by the ocean. I'm next to the cold Atlantic right now, but I have to be on the ocean. Absolutely. But I also love the woods. So Maine is perfect. um, Kelly, if you share out, and we're also doing donations, if you want a personal reading to see how it pertains to you, I did I pinned our PayPal link. Or if you share out and want a quickie, let us know that you did that, Kelly, and we can look a little more closely on how it pertains to you. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura, for sharing. I have strong Sirius, and yeah, the dolphins, Sirian energy. All right. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Sirius Radio. Maybe they should make Syrian radio.
Yeah, Teresa, you and John have a lot of similar uh, strands of energy working through you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I was feeling that you did. and we're connected to the Wizard of Oz. So the symbology in there, and when you rewatch it, you know how you gain something, and then it's not just play or it's not just fake. You understand how it's representing real life and the mechanics and the physics of energy. All right. If anyone else made a donation, let us know. Otherwise, we are going to move on to Laura Runner, for a quickie. Thank you, Charles, for sharing. We can give you a quickie after Laura. And if you make a donation, you get a fuller reading, more in depth from both of us, of course, regarding the mass that you are letting go that is hindering and the mass that you are taking on, the energy supporting you in this physical vessel. And sharing out, you'll get a quickie. Thank you so much, guys. All right,
Okay,
Laura.
what I'm
Laura.
saying is a little bit grotesque here, so
Well, it is
I'm
Halloween.
seeing just in general genitals being surrounded into yellowish orange energy and changing, going through a metamorphosis of some kind.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's your sex life or what, or maybe something dealing with sex, or even the word sex, even though it may not necessarily detailing sex, the act itself, but something is changing. It could be creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the way that you're expressing yourself on a day-to-day manner, which might change the way people perceive you. But I'm just seeing when you're walking around on the street, people's eyes are going wide. It's like, oh, wow, mommy, what's that? I don't know.
What mask and costume are you wearing, Laura?
Don't worry about it. Just do your own thing. If people are going like this, then all you have to do is keep on walking. Don't even stop. Don't even complain about it. Just keep on going. Nobody will attack you, but just keep on going. If you're going through changes, you're going through changes. Think about it like a second puberty. It happens. Sometimes it could be a third puberty and fourth puberty. We always think, oh, puberty happens once and that's it, then we're good for life. No, puberty happens again and again and again and over and over again.
I love that.
So, if it, if this is all about the sexuality, if it's, your actual sexuality, that's great. If you're trying to express something that maybe you couldn't, that you felt you couldn't express beforehand, then go ahead and, do so. Do it now. Don't worry about what the eyeballs are doing. Oh, so what? Maybe they're too scared to do what you're doing. They're like, I wish I could do stuff like that. If you want to wear a cape, wear a cape. Just like me, for example. I mean, the way that I dress a good bit of the time is it's classy, but it's not very traditional in the year 2022, so on and so forth. So, I mean, I'll wear like a skirt and black tights, even though I'm not going in for like a job or interviews or an office kind of place. But I'll still do that anyway, just because it suits me well. And the strange part about it is that even though obviously it's subjective and I can wear what I want, but I mean it's the act that objectively suits me well, which is very strange considering my background. You wouldn't think that somebody with CP that kind of drags their foot would actually enjoy wearing the outfit that I wear, but also, funny enough, that the hosiery has never ripped because I drag my foot, which is also interesting. So somehow it suits me well objectively. Maybe what you're trying to do will suit you well in an objective sense, even though I guess it's still subjective anyway. But you'll feel that it suits you well in an objective sense. So whatever this transformation is regarding your sexuality, whether it's the act itself or something else other entirely, it'll suit you extremely well. You'll be expressing more of who you are, not just so people can see it, but you internally will feel better about yourself and you'll feel more at home.
Mm.
and I'm just feeling a very light massage, a very nice rubbing on the lower back. Where they what the lumbar is, the lumbar spine as they call it. But I didn't think the lumbar with it the lower back, but okay. I keep hearing lumbar and like lower back, but all right.
Mm, makes sense.
So to me, that represents that when during this transformation, whether it's a physical thing or something else entirely, it's you're gonna feel more rooted in who you are as a person. So therefore, you won't need to concern yourself with a bunch of crap anymore, and you won't be hiding. Rhea, you're up.
Wow. So the whole sexuality thing, and when you saw stuff in the genitals, I once had a dream, and this will make sense in a minute, but I'm very connected to Bashar and his teachings, the Essassani. And I was in space. You know how we do travel in our dream state? I was in space. I saw the planets. I was on a ship. It was very beautiful. I saw him as he appeared in the physical. And I was shown these people, and one was stretched on a stretcher, and his body was covered, but they were just allowing me to examine the genitals. And what that meant was that DNA that was extracted, say, from the semen or whatever to procreate. So, you know how we hear stories of how they've taken genes and changed them or combined them or merged them with alien energy, and we really are all alien, to form a better species or to bring back something that was lost in a past planet and it was destroyed, but to save themselves and all of that. So I'm just feeling that whole thing actually is also tied into galactic ties. And so uh, genetic coding or changes that you are involved in on another timeline. I did end up pulling you, even though I haven't done this with anyone else, and thank you for your donation. But because of Lauren's reading, I pulled you a Galactic Heritage card, and that energy that's coming forth, like even as Lauren was speaking, I almost was feeling like your human nature is your costume and mask. That's not really who you are. You originate from another galactic um, heritage, and we all do, but something to do with you and a strong correlation with um, the genetics changing um, the creation and not manipulating in a bad way. None of it was in for bad. It was to save and to help certain life forms to allow them to continue evolving and evolution. So there's something there, and I don't know if you've ever had a dream of that or know of that or feel your galactic connection. But I posed you drum Andromeda, and that's a parallel. So that makes sense that it would be extra strong. Parallel. So we have all of these different timelines. The parallel one is the one closest, I believe, that is resonant to your experience now, and it's to do with fluidity. So maybe flowing, and once you uh, gain some knowledge or insight or connect with your authentic self or your energy, or maybe certain knowledge that you did not know about, it feels like home. It feels like home. I know when I had that dream and I met up on this planet and I saw like purple planets, and it was so real. I literally was depressed for a few days when I came back because it felt like home. And I'm like, why can't I have that feeling all the time? It felt so good. So you might be feeling a sense of your sense of home will be stronger as you connect and come to a greater understanding and knowledge of your galactic heritage, basically, and going with the flow. And the five represents changes, and maybe you are part of, on another timeline, that genetic engineering for the change, for whatever, however that makes sense to you. And I'm just going to read that real quick because I think it's important, especially with what came through for Lauren. Hold on here. And I love this stuff. This is all new to me, so I got to read kind of um, the different races. All right, Andromeda, confusion. You could be confused if you're feeling confusion, but number 5 is fluidity. going with the flow. The nature of consciousness is to be fluid, to flow with the natural currents of the universe. But life in a physical body can cause us to be rigid, whether in actions, beliefs, or emotions. Andromedan consciousness is very fluid. You know how to be this way innately as well. Take some time every day to connect with your Andromeda Andromeda energy, Laura, and practice going with the flow. See how your life changes when you don't try to control your reality. This isn't about becoming a victim. Let yourself surf the universal energy instead of trying to control it. So, to understand the concepts of Andromedan reality, it is recommended that you read. Okay, forget it. Don't worry about that. That's referring to the book. One of particular importance is to remember one reason why Andromedans are our teachers, because they are offering contrasting reflection where we can see ourselves, particularly regarding to the human qualities of rigidity, resistance, and attachment, continuing the theme of what Andromedans have come to teach us. So it's about fluidity and your connection to there. You have a parallel existence where you are in that reality, and it is teaching you. The physical resistance is harsh, it's dense, we're put on with all these beliefs and thoughts and stuff. So you're not to get stuck in any rigid way of thinking, but to stay fluid and allow certain beliefs to merge into another belief and another belief and another belief. There is no end all. Fluid and allowing yourself to flow with the different thoughts and ideas is what's recommended for you. And that's kind of funny because this looks kind of yellow and stuff like Lauren was talking about in her vision. All right, so what I got for you, the mask that you might be taking off, ending a cycle to start anew, that is not serving you anymore, that might be hindering you, is autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope. So it's number 6. And that in general is balance and harmony. And you can say, well, how is that a negative mask? But what it's saying is it's almost losing hope and clinging on to something and maybe being attached to a past idea that that child connected to, the fruit, but that apple isn't bitten. So what's standing out on me is the mask of a child or a victim that never got its fulfillment in the past. You're letting go of that because this apple was never bitten. So that shows me that that child was never fulfilled. Maybe something in your past caused disappointment, which has caused maybe some reason to want to control or to cling on to certain ideas or energetic beliefs and thoughts, because that apple was never bitten, and now it might have made you lose hope because you had an expectation of fulfillment and it still hasn't happened. So the mask you need to take off is there's always hope. There's always hope, and life is eternal. And whatever cycle where you didn't receive fulfillment, there were lessons that you learned to take you into the next cycle where your fulfillment will come in a better, bigger, newer way. So it's about releasing those attachments to the unfulfillment, letting go of the victim and allowing the energy to flow and be fluid, taking the cycle that might not have been completed in the child's eyes and saying, hey, but that child really learned to be strong and maybe a little tough and independent and satisfied without being satisfied. So taking what that child learned and taking it into the next cycle. Do not lose hope. Autumn is not your last chance. It's just the end of one cycle. To take all of that cycle that you've learned, not anything unlike of, say, maybe ninth grade sucked for you, but you still learned a lot. And you're not going to stay stuck in ninth grade because you didn't get what you wanted. No, you're going to take everything you learned in ninth grade and you're going to take it into 10th grade, if that makes sense. So there's never a loss of hope, just the releasing and letting go of the expectation of how fulfillment should have come, but then allowing the new fulfillment to overtake you, which will be more fulfilling. That apple's going to taste better in your next cycle. All right. So the mass that is serving you is Earth Mother, feeling loved and comforted. So maybe this past cycle you felt very alone. Maybe you didn't feel taken care of and nourished and coddled and abundant. Well, that has taught you to be independent and connect to those energies within you, where you are your own Earth Mother. You're content, you're fulfilled. Because whenever we look for the fulfillment of the outside, or even through a bite of this apple or fruit outside of us, it's passing. It's not going to be with us forever. So you have found this true fulfillment. You're putting on the mask of Gaia, the divine feminine, um, the mother, because look at her. Her tummy is pregnant, pregnant with the world. You're pregnant with new birth, new fulfillment, new harmony, balance, joy, abundance. Her eye is shut. She's not looking for the outside to fulfill her. It's all within her. She contains the world. And because she contains the world, guess what? Her world is going to contain her. All of this beautiful leaves surrounding her head and covering her breasts. She's going to produce that automatically because she knows the world is within her and she is the world. Nothing outside of her is going to bring her that fulfillment. She's going with the flow. She's allowing the cycles of the earth. She's allowing the endings and new beginnings. That is the mass that is aiding you now and supporting you, feeling love and comforted from within. And that's a beautiful thing where we don't get our love from the outside. It really, really, oops, 10% battery. It really gives us an opportunity. The gift is self-love, self-connection, self-fulfillment. But then when we're fulfilled within, then the outside is going to bring that back to us, show us that. And then this also came up real quick. This was sitting on the ground of your reading out of nowhere, and it's wise one. So just allowing you to know that you do have the wise one within you and that energy supporting you, growth within for your current situation. So you are growing within. It goes really well actually with the Mother Earth card because she is pregnant with the world, and that's allowing you to know that you are being supported. You are going to be receiving messages and guidance. This crow here, the crows have been coming up a lot for everybody, so the crow is going to give you the wisdom you need. But guess what? It's still coming from within you. You're supported, so don't lose heart. It's going to be there when you need it. So putting on Mother Earth, actually pretend you're the world. So the mass that you can visualize that you are is the world, Mother Earth, however that looks for you. And then the purpose is flowers. Working with flowers opens up your heart and brings blessings to others through your life's purpose. I don't know if you work with flowers, but this is a life purpose deck, and I'm using it as a bridge. I'm using it for a bridge from the mask you're taking off and the mask that is actually helping you, supporting you. And I'm feeling just working with Mother Earth more in nature, and flowers don't necessarily need to mean physical flowers even, but it's the byproduct of the plants you've seeded, and now you're going to be reaping those rewards. The seeds are grown into a flower, and you're going to be reaping the flowers that you've planted, the self-love. The flower is the outer product of your self-love, and when you have self-love, you do share that with others. So and also the physical part of working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. She's content, she's helpful, she looks like a child of Mother Earth. That is the you that you are giving birth to. Very beautiful, Laura. So releasing the victim, embracing that independent self-love, nourishment, regeneration, ending that cycle to bring forth that new world for you. Oh, and I want to do an animal. Hold on here. I like doing these. These are fun. Oh, yeah, you got the lizard. Laura, you got the lizard, which sometimes we can think of the reptilians as a galactic energy also. So working with those, I think also the reptilians, but letting go. Letting go again. And that's so funny because it went along perfect with this. Letting go. You didn't maybe get to eat that apple and get everything you wanted from it, but you're still holding the apple and you can take it to the next cycle. So it's about letting go of one cycle, taking all of that knowledge, like the ninth grader going to the 10th grade or the 12th grade going into the world, more likely, letting go. That might be the energy that is supporting you. So you can imagine, um, you can visualize being Mother Earth, and you can visualize being a lizard, which is helping you with the letting go and being fluid, going with the flow to birth the world that you are. Thank you, Laura. Beautiful reading. I really like this one. This one really hit me. This one hit me good because we could always think of all the things in life that didn't live up to our expectations, or even the way we were brought up or the way our parents were or the way we were taught. We can play a victim on so many different levels, but that actually was an opportunity connecting to self and not looking on that outside for that fulfillment, but knowing that fulfillment is still, it's gonna uh, it's gonna be bigger, better, and stronger and longer, eternally lasting because of that experience. All right, so let's see. I can understand that I need to let go. Hey, Miranda, thank you for joining. Yes, you are blooming. You're giving birth to a more abundant you, harmonious, going with the flow, letting the natural cycles take its course. Um,
Yeah, somebody else. I just got a notification from somebody else on Facebook. They have a video going on, a live video talk about letting go as well right now. So that's kind of
um,
interesting. When you said letting go, that video notification
just showed
popped
up.
up.
Maybe you go check them out, Laura.
No,
Now that
I
your
can't. I
reading's
mean, she's
done.
kind of popular, so I mean, she doesn't really talk to because she's like she makes six figures, so she's not gonna talk to me too much because I'm not really in her containers of stuff. But I mean, she's still cool to follow once in a while, kind of thing.
Teresa Holmes says, I'm hearing this song, Release Control. I surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. Absolutely. That's it in a nutshell. And that's the cycle that you've understood and are taking with you to your new cycle. You are going to be the generator of the life flowing. It's almost like you are creating the life before you instead of looking it from the outside the other way around, Laura. All right. Quickie, please. Kelly. Oh, actually, I think Charles, if you're still there, Charles, let us know. We'll give you a quickie because I know you were before Kelly, and then we can give Kelly a quickie. I think. Thank you, Abuelita Mamacita.
Well, speaking about sex and quickies, all right.
All right. I know Charles shared out. So, Charles, if you were there, Charles, let us know. I know it was
He's
a
still
little bit back.
here.
Okay, so Charles shared
I
out.
might
So
have
we'll
an
give.
extra beer for him, so he could be here with a beer.
All right. Here with the beer. All right, so Charles Coons, we will give you a quickie for sharing out. Thank you so much. And if anybody else made a donation, let us know when you're put to the top of the list and you have a more thorough reading. But here's a quickie for Charles. And then Kelly, you're next. Kelly Deck.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Oh, it's Thompson twins, right?
Tears for
Oh,
Fears.
Tears for Fears, I mean, yes.
So what is that song all about? It's about what bad things and about people what taking advantage of other people or thinking that they know what's what. It's like it's a happy sounding song, but it's actually kind of depressing if you look at the lyrics. So tears for fears. Maybe you're afraid of doing something. So you're trade you're trading your tears because you're giving in to fears. So okay. Well, what if you actually just did the thing and then you could show yourself there's nothing to be afraid of? Then you wouldn't be crying, and then you'd be more about doing what you want to do. I want something else to get me through this semi-trump kind of life. I want something else. And then listen when you say goodbye. Third Eye Blind, semi-trump life. What is that song about? It's all about doing drugs, and it's about okay, their lives look good on the surface, but underneath there's still something that they want more, even though they have the rich life, whatever, so on and so forth. But they're starting to take the edge off. Michael Vick, he was a football player making millions of dollars a year, and what did he do? Dogfighting stuff, and got arrested for it. Okay, if they have the life they want, they built, he put in the effort to become a football star, did all the training for it, physical stuff, and made the final cut and made all that money. living the dream only to do dogfighting. Well, okay, if you're living the dream, living your dream, why didn't you do dogfighting? Michael Jackson. I mean, obviously he was kind of forced into it because of his parents, but whatever. Okay, he did it. Made millions upon millions. He's got the top selling record of all time, Thriller. No one can beat that ever because how popular that is. That'll be number one forever because no other album or song could top Thriller. But what did Michael Jackson do? He died at 50. Why? From plastic surgery stuff. Conspiracy theory or not. He did all that plastic surgery, changing the nose, changing this thing. And there's even rumors he hired people to go grocery shopping at a store because he could never go grocery shopping at a store like regular people because of his popularity. So, with all of that being said, where have you been looking at? Where have you been living a life? Maybe your life's supposed to be pretty good on the surface, but maybe you want more somewhere. Where do you feel like you lack? And start feeding that now. Don't, hide it away because then you'll want it so bad, you'll trade everything else to get it. Just like Michael Vick traded, everything else to do dogfighting. Start feeding into it now. That way you don't have to trade it for everything else because no one thing is worth everything else. You're like, oh, now that I have this one thing, screw everything else. No, you may want that in for like 3 months or maybe even a year, but nothing's going to be worth everything else. Ria, you're up.
Alrighty. And everyone wants to rule the world. It's just bringing that back. And what Spirit kept telling me as you were talking about that song is it doesn't matter. You're right. Everyone does want to rule the way. Everyone wants their life a certain way. And we can get caught up in that and compare.
And Ria's gone. I guess a phone call or something. So, alright, we'll give it about a minute here and see what happens.
Allowing the fears to be the creating part, but trusting in your desires and opening up your heart and allowing what it is that excites you or makes you joyous or happy or want in life. You can have it even though what everybody else wants, and even if it seems like a contrast of what everybody else around you is creating, you can still create your own world. And what I received, I know this is a quickie, but I pulled two: the mask that is leaving you, that is not maybe serving you right now, and then the mask, the energy mask that is supporting you, and they kind of go together because one is the snow angel, and the snow angel to me, when you think of someone snow angel, you might think of a little bit of an icy facade, a little bit cold, maybe holding their emotions in, maybe being disappointed, so they're being just a little cold, or they're being a little not so warm and open because they've been hurt in the past, or they didn't get what they wanted in the past. So to me, it's almost like maybe in the past you've had to put a strong front on or try not to be too caring or too caught up because you were hurt. So an icy front or cold or standoffish could be a mask someone is wearing really just to protect themselves and so their heart doesn't get hurt and broken again. But what it's saying here is the signs are already with you. Um, so it's kind of been icy. To me, it's like maybe you haven't gotten everything you wanted in your world, and you want to know how to get there. The four is about foundations. It's about building, and this card is just saying the signs are with you. So I'm just going to read the divination part of it really quick. It says you already have received everything. You've already received very definite, clear signs that you've asked for over and over again. So it might be opening up to receiving the signs and guidance in a way that you're not used to, because we are always given everything we need in the moment to guide us in the physical world if we are open to receiving the information or the guidance from it. The snow angel will reply again, but the message you are refusing to hear, not her presence that is denied you. It is your fear and attachment to hesitating that keeps you on pause. So you might have been given a sign, but due to past disappointment, you might be a little bit weary leery of moving forward in something because you don't want to go through the hurts and the pains or the coldness that you've experienced in the past. But you're a new frequency, it's a new world, things are changing. So to go to you to melt down maybe that little icy facade and let it melt your heart and opening up to receiving the gifts before you. It is time to see what has already been shown to you and take action immediately without hesitation. The snow angel has shown you so very clearly that you are protected and cared for. Now it is time for you to do exactly that for yourself. And yes, you can open your senses up to angelic guidance. Whoops. So allowing your angelic guidance, your guide, your angel, your higher self to guide you, you can create the world that you want. Don't worry about what others are creating. Don't worry about how it's been done in the past. You have the way to rule the world in the way that you want to. But listening to yourself and trusting in that. And it's funny, that's the mask. This is a little more victim, a little bit more stern, icy cold mask front that this little angel's putting on. She's still an angel. She's just a hurt, to me, she's just a hurt angel. She's a wounded angel that hasn't necessarily gotten the open, fluid love, warmth, comfort of life that she wanted. But she's still an angel, and that angel is guiding you now. Because the other card, the mask you're supposed to put on is Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. She looks a little bit icier, a little colder. She's been let down a little bit in matters of the heart, maybe by family, friends, relationships. The snow's falling. Snow is crystallized water, so it's just saying even the snow is, to me, it's divinity. It's, to me, it's gifts from the angel, blessings. So that is saying that whatever is before you, you are given what you need to create that life you want and to create a life of warmth and to have it look a little more like this, warm, earthy. You are protected. Drop your shields. That's the mask you are to put on. This angel with a crown on you, or you could be a king with a crown, dropping your shield, and just imagine and visualize. Put on the mask of a king, knowing that the king is abundant and has everything that they want. But hopefully a king with a smile on its heart as well, which you are if you're an angel. So just knowing that and everything that you've gone through is helping you, and it is time to heal yourself, and knowing that you are protected, and your protection and your trust and your faith in your inner guidance is, allow it to soften you, allow it to melt any ice, and you hold a healing energy within you because of what you've gone through. So putting the mask of this of a king with wings. Thank you, Charles. I don't know if that made sense, but hopefully in some way, shape, or form. All right. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna block this
We've got
person.
a spammer in the comments.
Yeah, I blocked it. Block user. That one comes up a lot.
My
All
girls
right.
18XYZ.
All right. Well, any of you guys who want to utilize that, you had your opportunity, and now I blocked it.
Speaking
All
about
right.
sex again, wow, it
I
is
know.
happy time.
I know. I thought of that first thing when I saw it. So Kelly is on board next, and then we'll probably wrap it up if we don't have anybody else who have
Yeah, it's
requested
been about an
readings.
hour and a half, so.
Where's Kelly? Kelly, quickie, please. All right.
And then also that person that's making that other video was also named Kelly as well, so that's also kind of fun.
Cool. That is funny. That's the coincidence. That's all the different layers connected on all the different layers connected, all the different sparks we can tune into.
Alright, Kelly's gonna be the last one in this as a donation from someone else. That's what I'm gonna call it.
All right.
I'm feeling snakes slithering up my feet and legs. What are snakes known for? Waiting for the right time to strike. They can't see worth anything, but they feel the vibrations of everything. And that's how they know where you're coming at and everything else. That's how they know when to strike. They also don't need to bite anything really. I mean, they bite, but they can swallow things whole. Where they can swallow everything, what, 10 times their size? So maybe it's time to tap into other senses or other abilities now. Maybe you're going through a spiritual awakening. Maybe you already have some gifts, but you need to develop them more. So don't rely on pure physical senses, your hearing and sight to do everything. Maybe it's time to learn to feel. Maybe it's time to learn that you can take things on that are 20 times your size. That way you can swallow everything whole, and then the acid breaks everything down. The snake doesn't worry about whether something is bigger than it. It's got venom in the teeth. It can bite, stun the predator, and then swallow them whole. Which gift do you want to learn about? Have you tried YouTube videos? Have you seen people give readings, or have you seen people teach a class that you might be interested in? That's where the step comes through. So you have to make the decision to learn about something and then take a step with it. You can't just, I mean, yes, there's the whole generalization of asking and receiving, but when you ask and then receive, are you taking the steps to match that up? So I can sit there and say, I want to do bike riding, but I'm not asking anybody for help regarding bike riding. I'm not taking any classes for it. So it's like, okay, I'm saying I want to go learn about bike riding, but at the same time, I'm not really, going toward it. So how can I be given anything when I'm not even putting myself out there? Yeah, well, the one bite at a time with a snake it's 10 times its size, so it's a big bite. And now it's the perfect time with the universal year of 7 coming in to study something new. And that's going to be that. So, what is it that you want to learn? I'm also seeing red ribbons inside of people's hair. And what does that indicate? It's supposed to be something sweet. I mean, I know it could be like a little girl thing and be like super cute, but I'm not really feeling like the cuteness for the sake of being cute. It's supposed to be like a sweet thing. It's supposed to be like a fun, kind of playful thing. So, okay, let's learn new things, but let's also be have fun and playful about it. Because what is hair? Hair is soft, or at least it's supposed to be naturally, outside of hairspray and Aquanet and all that other stuff people put in their heads to stiffen it out so bad that it feels like spikes or something. But, hair is soft. You're supposed to be able to touch it. That's why when you pet a cat, it's cool and it's fun and it's gentle. So let's take the time to learn new tools, but let's also do it in a very sweet and fun and playful way. Ria, you're up.
It's funny that you mentioned red ribbons in the hair because this little girl has red plants in her hair, like almost looks like a ribbon. So the mask, what my intent was to pull this card showing the mask that is no longer serving you or that you might not be aware of, that's hindering you right now, that you're wrapping up and taking off as you go into this new cycle, is the fairy witch of the green world. The natural world needs you. But what picks up sometimes with the green energy. Yeah, it does represent the heart, healing, and plants, but it can also represent envy sometimes. And she's holding on to this, I don't know what it is, but it could be a coin, compact, something important, and she is holding it up against her. And what I'm feeling from this, because it says the natural world needs you, maybe you felt like that you weren't enough, or that you didn't have what it takes to make a difference, or the world is in such a disarray, what can I do, or how can I help? Like maybe feeling small, or that you don't have what it takes, or have any idea how to make an impact or a difference. And we have been there and done that. And it's not that you need to change your world anyways. You just need to be you authentically, and then you shift to the world that represents that. You change the world automatically by being your authentic self. So maybe you were just putting on a mask of um, kind of not shying away a little bit, maybe a little insecurity, maybe a little lack of confidence, or just questioning, what do I have? Like her even like looking at her coin, or her plant or gem or stone. What do I have? How can I help? Kind of idea. But she's got all of these berries, and it even looks, the bottom ones sort of look like holly. Like she has gifts to give. It's a 44. That is a master number. You have gone through and hold the knowledge, the intellect, the tools, everything that you need to build upon the changes that you want, the life that you want. 44 is mastery. So you might have taken a lot of steps, or maybe you have taken courses or done a lot of spiritual work. And so you have the steps, you have the foundation. You're actually a master of whatever it is you've come to deliver, to share. So maybe just belittling a little bit your own knowledge and mastery, and taking that mask off and putting on this one. They go hand in hand. You actually got medicine mother. Honor your inner knowing. Now this one here, she looks wise. She's got all the knowledge. Her eyes are all circled in an infinity with, like, it looks like even white, which is divinity. Divine wisdom and knowledge, and it's in the shape of an 8, which represents the infinity, which represents abundance, represents never ending. So if this one here um, is the natural world and working with plants and greens, that makes sense, because this one here is a medicine woman. She's actually taken her talents, taken her knowledge, maybe even taken courses that have shown her how to utilize natural holistic remedies, or plants or flowers, to nurture, heal, and balance the physical world. Because here you are a medicine woman. It's time to put on this face, this pair of glasses of the infinity, of seeing with God eyes, your higher self, seeing with your own knowledge, your wisdom. There's things within you, and information and wisdom, that are here for healing. And you you hold that, but you might be doubting it a little bit. So putting on the confidence and saying, hey, I am this medicine mother. I am who you come to for advice or guidance or medicine or ideas or coaching or whatever it is you do. Your head is illuminated. That means you're receiving all of that knowledge. It's there. I'm feeling that maybe you just need to step into it. Step into your own inner knowing. Put on that mask of confidence. But it could also, like I said, you might have been dealing with plants in your past. Maybe you were exposed to a mom or family, or work in a greenhouse, or all of that kind of stuff in your past. You're close. It looks like you're close to the fairies, Mother Earth, the natural world, and you see the beauty, and you don't want it to be destroyed. And it's just saying all of your care and compassion for Mother Earth too, and Gaia, is leading you to this place. A prominent, strong leader, wise one, mother, divine feminine figure. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Yeah, you got a lot, you got a lot of power, and it's just bringing that knowledge and wisdom out, stepping out and taking action on that which you've already learned and know, even if it's not to do with plants, however it resonates for you. Inner knowing, trusting it, medicine woman, healer. I really strongly feel that you have a lot of healing capacity, because you've healed yourself, and you can go out and you have something to share that no one else can share in your own unique expression. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for sharing out if you did. Oh my God, that one's back on again. Block user. Oop. All right, come on in. All right, guys. There is someone at the door. I think.
Hi, it's just me.
Yeah, can you hold on 1 second? I just do, or do you want to just, yes, tell me.
You have a second. I just want to ask you to help me for 10 seconds.
And in your place? Sure.
And no,
Up,
all, that's it.
1 minute. 1 minute, I'll be there.
10, 20, whatever.
It's a neighbor, sorry. So, perfect timing because my battery's going to go dead. The neighbor needs me. An error occurred. I can't figure this out. Won't let me block that person. Anyways. Anything else, Lauren? Anybody?
No, that's pretty much it from me. I mean, just everybody have to stay and have a happy Halloween. If you're doing trick or treating, just be careful about where you're getting the candy. I mean, and if trick or treating is, ends up being
Let me
bad
just.
or, not too great, you can always go to Walmart and buy tons of candy. They got candy in every aisle. So just be very worried about where you're getting candy from. Not that I'm trying to worry about like the drug epidemic, but there's like a lot of opioid and fentanyl epidemic stuff and things like that, and things laced with other stuff. So just be careful about where you're getting the candy from. And like always, with the whole razor blades inside of apples thing, just stay safe this Halloween. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do no toilet paper people's houses kind of stuff. Stay safe. Don't do anything dumb. Don't get arrested. Don't let your kids get arrested. And just have a fun time.
Yeah, taking
Like
Mythos out
always.
tonight. Mythos, yeah, he's gonna be his little killer clown, but evil clown. He's such an angel. It only makes sense that he's attracted to the opposite end, where he wants to be a little more devilish, a little more evil, quote
Killer
unquote
Clash
evil.
from Outer Space. That was a good movie. I mean, it's a B movie, but like it was a good movie back for its time.
All right, and thank you so much for shining your light here, guys, and creating this message collectively. And Kelly, I noticed that you did mention that wanting to make a difference and stuff. And anyways, you do impact the world in every moment of now that you are aligned to your authentic self. You have what it takes, and don't discount any little thing, any little thought, any little idea, because that creates a frequency within you. And it's not so much that you're changing the world, but as you express yourself, your world changes. So thank you so much. Thank you, Lauren.
No problem, anytime.
May you all shine with the entirety, not just a little spark, but the entirety, or that's my picture, of all
Pushing
the
forward
loves
and stay
and
epic.
light. Yes, move forward and stay epic. Thank you guys.